Hello. So today we are going to do a pen shootout. So first pen we have is the Visconti Van Gogh, and the color is Iris. Yes, this is pen number 1. It's quite beautiful. I very much enjoy this pen. So I guess I should preface this with this is a shootout of 2 semi to pretty expensive pens with steel nibs. So we have the Visconti Van Gogh, as I just said. And then the second pen we have is from a company in Naples called Nettuno. And this is the Nettuno 1910, or is it 1911? It is 1911. The Nettuno 1911 Black Sand, and it has gold trim there. It doesn't want to focus because this is a cheap facing, selfie camera, I guess, on my phone. So anyways, let the shootout begin. So, this one, the Nettuno, is flipping nice. It is made of a resin, a matted resin, which has a very nice feel. So when you take the back off here, it looks like a piston filler, but it's actually an international cartridge converter. But it has this very nice kind of end of it that matches the other finishing on the pen. So that is quite nice. It's pretty heavy, I would say, which is interesting because I don't know why it's interesting. That's a good question why it's interesting. On the end here, you can't really see too well. They have this little kind of S's or integral signs or waves, if you will. You could make it whatever you want. Not whatever you want. Those 3 things that I said. And if I said 2, then you can only make it those 2. And then we have the trident on the front here. And we have these kind of little archways, symbolizing archways, I presume. And then we have also the archways on the bottom. So this one, I find it interesting. It's only maybe like, let's see, half a twist, one twist to get it off. So that's pretty good. And this is the inside of the cap there. I don't know if that's necessary. So the nib, it's a number 6 nib. It's a steel nib. I don't know how well you can see, but has a little N on it there. And what else does it say? It says 1911. Maybe it says something else actually. It says some date, which I need to not be as old to read. So, and then it has a little F for fine. This is the fine nib. So I believe these come in fine, medium, and broad, and maybe other things too. That I should have probably researched before doing this. But at any rate, this pen is beautiful. It is expensive. It's over $300 US, so that's quite a lot of money. But right, so I just recently ordered these pens. I got the Van Gogh first, and I thought that the Van Gogh was the nicest steel nib that I'd used to date. And then I just got this in the mail today, and I realized that I was wrong because this nib is perfect. It's quite lovely. The only thing I would say that is that and I don't know if you'll do any writing like this, but if you're writing in bed, so I have like a little thing that I can put over myself, right? And so I'm lying in bed like this, and so if you're writing at an angle such as this, somehow the ink flow isn't quite as good. So if you want to be writing like this, you can't really do it as well without having it skip a little bit. So if you're writing normally, like normal human beings write, it's quite nice. It's a quite nice situation to be in for the nib game. So yeah, that's it. I love this pen. I have other pens with gold nibs, pretty expensive pens, more expensive than this, and honestly, this is one of the nicest nibs. I would say one of the nicest writing experiences out of the pens I have. I really enjoy it. Maybe it's my first kind of it's the biggest nib for me, at least as far as the width of the nib. But it's just a very pleasant writing experience. So the Van Gogh, this pen is just beautiful. I don't know if you can see or not, but this is a hand-turned acrylic, and they have, if you turn it in the light, it's this shape it's almost octagonal, but instead of octagon, it's a many more sided object, and it's just beautiful the way that it kind of reflects the light, and you have the Visconti clip here. Comes up like that. Other reviewers say that it represents a bridge, which I believe then when they say that. I will not say it because that would be secondhand, and I guess I did say it by saying that they said it, but I won't say that I said it. I'll say that they said it and reference that. Anyways, so this is the pen. I have also heard on reviews that this top here is magnetically in place and that you can pluck it off and replace it with a top of your liking with like your name or maybe a picture of your dog or something. I don't know about the picture of the dog, but maybe if you custom do it, then you could do it customly. So the top is really nice. It's magnetic. And then on the little thing here we have, says Van Gogh. Yes, I'm sure you cannot read that because of this. And on the other side it says Visconti, Italy. So there you have it. So again, this is a magnetic top. So if I'm holding it like this, plucks off like that. It does post pretty well. So the Nettuno, it posts as well, but it's a big pen and it's heavy. So posted, it feels a little bit cumbersome to me. It feels a little bit back heavy. This one, you can definitely use it unposted. I have medium-sized hands, I would say, compared to other human beings. And it's unposted, it definitely is comfortable. I do prefer this one, the Van Gogh posted. It posts a little deeper into the cap there, and it's just the pen goes into the cap deeper when you post it, but it's nice. This one is going to be a fine nib as well. I don't know if you can see it there. Steel nib, silver colored, and then we have some magnetic system here where it locks into place, obviously. So now I've told you about the pens. So this pen, I got it for around $200. So it is a significantly cheaper, probably 2/3 the price of the Nettuno. But the Nettuno just came out as well, so I guess there is potential for the price to drop. So now that we've done that, let us do a writing sample. This seems like a very difficult situation here. All right. Okay. This is not going to work out. So now that we have done that, I will stop it for writing sample to come. All right, so just as we discussed in the previous video, here is our writing sample. So our first pen we have here is going to be the Visconti Van Gogh. I should learn how to spell. And this is in the iris color. So again, each of the colors is based off of a painting by Van Gogh. So this one is based off of a painting of irises. Right. So we have, again, this is a steel fine nib. And the ink that we're using is Diamine Meadow. Right. So, despite being very thin, pretty thin writing, this is definitely a wet ink, a wet pen. Again, that depends on the ink and the pen itself, but I have found that this is both a wet and a thin experience. You get these thin lines, but if you look closely, you can kind of see the ink there, see the excess ink. So that's nice. It's a nice combination of thin and wet. I guess you have to be careful then, though, that once you write a line, you don't do that on the paper. So yes, that is something to be aware of. So for a steel nib, it's not a flex nib. We want to be careful not to push it too much. But that being said, you can get a little bit of line variation if you would like such things as line variation to be had. Anyways, right. What else do we need to do? So I have noticed with this pen that at times it gets a little dry. And I think, I don't know if anyone else has found this, but I tend to go like this a little bit. And then if you really need to, you can twist down the kind of twisty thing on the cartridge converter, and that definitely helps. But even having done that, it's still a bit dry. So a bit dry at the moment. So let's go ahead and do that then. Open this bad boy up. Just give it a little bit of love in the downward direction, not too much. Just like that. And then give it another go. And now still a bit dry. There it goes. Right. So there you have it. This is the Vincent van Gogh. iris color. Yesterday, if you would have asked me, I would have said this is the nicest steel nib that I've used. Today, it is feeling a little bit dry right now, though. What do you think? Alright, let's try this one more time. Then we'll give it up as a bad job. So sometimes if you push it too much, you can see the ink coming out there. I don't see that happening. So let's try this again. I should probably test it out before I just screw it back in place. So it is feeling still a little bit dry. Not sure what is going on with this. Technical difficulties, or the pen is not as nice of a writing specimen as I had intended it to be when I said that it is that. So, in any case, it is a beautiful pen. The first inking I had of it was quite nice. And I'm not sure what is going on now. Maybe I'm just feeling weird. Pick up with it. And I will. We're moving on. This is the Visconti Van Gogh iris color. I mean, just look at that. That is a flipping beautiful pen. Any way you want to cut it up, I don't know. That's pretty. So now we're moving on to the Nettuno, and if you can see here, it says Nettuno, made in Italy at the bottom, and in the middle, 1911 spelled out in words. This pen is beautiful, like I've already said. Again, it can post. As you can see, that is quite big. And it's back heavy. It's back heavy. I don't prefer it. I would recommend writing without said posting situation. So, this is the Nettuno 1911 black sand fountain pen. And this nib is, I don't know if you can see that, it's a big nib. This is a number 6 steel fine nib, and I did think yesterday again that the Visconti was very smooth, and now this is just feeling, this feels like a gold nib to me. It's that smooth. It's very wet. Very pleasant. I really don't have any complaints with this nib. Notice how in this sentence I used some letters and some I left out. So that's a thing. If you guys want to see reverse writing, it's a bit scratchy, but it is something that can be done based on the fact that I just did it. If you want to write fast, I I feel like I'm falling into an SPRE Brown video at the moment, so maybe I should do something else before I write that fast so that it's not, plagiarizing. But anyways, I will attempt to write fast, which obviously I'm not very accomplished at. So this right here, I think I had the nib at an angle a little bit, so I think that that's my fault. I have found that this nib keeps up quite well, and I intend to continue seeing if that's still the case as I use it and see if it keeps up quite well. Anyways, hope you found this useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Okay, now I need to stop. This is the piece of paper. Not the end, the piece of paper. So obviously I'm not just ripping off SPRE Brown, so this is just a piece of paper. It's not the end. So yes, and good day, sir. Not goodbye. Bye.